President Trump unleashes dire warning: Iran to bear the brunt of Houthi attacks. In a stark escalation of tensions in the volatile Red Sea region, President Donald Trump issued a resounding warning to Iran, declaring the Islamic Republic will face dire consequences for any future attacks by Yemen's Houthi rebels. These rebels, backed by Tehran, have recently targeted U.S. and other foreign vessels, sparking a significant increase in regional instability and prompting a forceful response from the Trump administration. Every shot fired by the Houthis will be looked upon, from this point forward, as being a shot fired from the weapons and leadership of Iran, Trump thundered on his Truth Social platform. Iran will be held responsible and suffer the consequences, and those consequences will be dire. This unambiguous declaration signifies a dramatic shift in U.S. policy, directly implicating Iran in the actions of its Yemeni proxies. The statement serves as a potent deterrent, casting a long shadow over Iran's calculations regarding its support for the Houthi insurgency. Trump's pronouncements come amidst a backdrop of intensified military action. A recent series of U.S. airstrikes targeting Houthi positions has resulted in a significant loss of life, with reports indicating at least 53 casualties this past weekend alone. The strikes, part of a broader campaign orchestrated by the Trump administration, signal a determination to curb Houthi aggression and, crucially, to hold Iran accountable for its alleged sponsorship of these attacks. The escalating military engagement raises serious concerns about the potential for wider conflict and the devastating humanitarian consequences that would inevitably follow. This forceful stance from the president contrasts sharply with ongoing diplomatic efforts. Just last week, Trump sent a letter to Iranian leaders, attempting to re-engage in negotiations concerning Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. This simultaneous pursuit of both military pressure and diplomatic engagement paints a complex and precarious picture of the current U.S. foreign policy approach toward Iran. The conflicting signals, the threat of devastating military reprisal alongside an overture for diplomatic dialogue, underscore the high-stakes gamble being played out in the region. The administration's strategy appears to hinge on a clear message: Iran's support for the Houthis will not go unpunished. The scale and intensity of the U.S. response, coupled with the president's unequivocal language, suggest a willingness to employ significant force to deter further Houthi attacks and to directly confront Iran's alleged involvement. The success of this strategy remains to be seen, with the potential for escalation and unintended consequences a significant concern. This aggressive posture, however, raises questions about the potential for miscalculation and unintended escalation. The already fragile balance of power in the region could easily tip into open conflict, with catastrophic humanitarian consequences for the Yemeni people who are already suffering from years of war and famine. Furthermore, the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Iran's response to Trump's dual-track approach, the threat of military action alongside the offer of renewed negotiations, adds to the precariousness of the situation. The international community watches with bated breath, hoping for a de-escalation of the conflict and a return to diplomatic engagement. However, given the current trajectory of events, the prospect of a peaceful resolution appears increasingly challenging. The consequences of further escalation remain deeply troubling, underscoring the urgency of a measured and diplomatic response from all parties involved. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether this high-stakes gamble will lead to peace or plunge the region further into chaos. The world awaits Iran's response, and the potential ramifications are staggering. The fate of the region, and perhaps even beyond, hangs precariously in the balance. AP and AFP contributed to this report.